Hello and welcome to LFC Focus. It is post-match reaction show time after Liverpool have just beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers by 2 goals to none of their goals to secure top spot on Christmas Day. Now, I'm sure there will be plenty of people rushing to tell me that Liverpool are the only team who are capable of finishing top on Christmas Day and ending the league season without a Premier League title to their name. But park all that and just bask even in just how fantastic this Liverpool side is. I will, of course, talk about the match, but just it came over me after the game, like 15 wins and 3 draws and no defeats coming up to Christmas Day is an absolutely phenomenal record. Like, that is out of this world. I'm pretty sure, it's a couple of weeks ago, someone pointed out only 4 other sides have started a season in the English top flight better than this Liverpool side have done. And I'm sure by now one of those will have fallen away. This Liverpool team is on course to be potentially the best team that English football has ever seen in terms of a league campaign. It is absolutely fantastic. I might be overreacting because it's just Wolves and whatever, but it's a culmination of every single game. It is just Wolves, and it was just Bournemouth, and it was just Man United the week before. And you can say that about every game, but at the end of the day, teams slip up, teams make mistakes. Manchester City drew 1-1 at Molineux. Chelsea lost there. Arsenal drew 1-1 in their own backyard against Wolves. But Liverpool didn't slip up. There will have been countless teams, not just Man City, many other teams that want to get anywhere near Liverpool this season, watching this game thinking, we slipped up against Wolves, maybe they will as well. And Liverpool just went out and got a relatively routine 2-0 win. And I feel like Sky, and that's what I was watching it on, were a little bit harsh on us almost, because all the way through the first half they were suggesting that Liverpool were lucky to still be 1-0 up, we were lucky to have not conceded, we'd ridden our luck at times. But to be honest, it's not like Wolves ever were hitting the bar or having penalty decisions go against them or anything like that. It's just that they were more involved in the game than maybe people expected. And if anything, I think that's more of a credit to Liverpool than if we just managed the game through and Wolves had never threatened, because Wolves kept at us the whole 90 minutes. They never fell away. They never gave up. They kept trying to get a goal, get back into the game, stamp some authority on it. And it's full credit to Liverpool that they rode that out all the way through the game. And yeah, there were times where Wolves were applying the pressure, but they never scored. They never actually created even necessarily a clear-cut chance. And whenever they did, Alisson Becker was more than equal to it. And it's just testament to how good this Liverpool side is, that no matter how many lines you break, there's always another one that's going to get in your way. If you get past the midfield, those defenders, those centre-backs are going to be in your way. And if you get past them, you've got to get past one of the most expensive goalies and one of the best goalies in world football. This Liverpool side is just really, really good. So yeah, Wolves were great, but I don't think we rode our luck. I think we just played well, and especially given the conditions as well, because it was chucking it down. It was a freezing cold night game as well. It could have been quite easy for Liverpool to lose control of this match, and it looked like there were maybe even moments where they could have done. I thought certainly, as much as I've just been praising the defenders, Dejan Lovren felt like he never really settled. I still think he had an all-right game, but I think he suffered because of the conditions more than most. There were times where the ball bobbled away from him or bobbled through him, and it led to Wolves getting chances. So, we did struggle with the conditions, but I thought we still managed the game very, very well. And if you think of past Liverpool sides and put them up against that Wolves side in those kind of in those kind of conditions, a clean sheet, let alone a win, would have been absolutely inconceivable. A Liverpool side of a few seasons ago, even the one that Jurgen Klopp inherited, would not have won that game by multiple goals to nil. They probably would have drawn or even lost it, because you could have just counted on a second ball bobble or something like that would have sort of caught our defence unaware. But Liverpool were just on top of the situation all the way through the game. And like I said, Wolves had their chances, but they're 7th in the table for a reason. They've beaten Chelsea and drawn with Manchester City for a reason. It's because they're a very good side, built to get results out of these types of games. And as I said, it is huge credit to Liverpool that they still managed to come away with a win, and of course another clean sheet as well. So a player that I of course want to talk about, the man who gets the first goal and makes the second, is Mohamed Salah. I thought he was by far and away the man of the match today, and I thought he had a fantastic performance. He was just a total menace to that Wolves defence all the way through the game, and I think it's so important that he was, because it's a very good Wolves defence. They're very, very organised. They defend in numbers when they need to as well, so you can't just have like a hot spell for 5 minutes or something like that if you want to get past them. You're going to have to be good throughout the whole 90 minutes. You're going to have to keep on trying and plugging away, like Salah did similarly against Koulibaly, where he knew he wasn't going to win every battle. He probably wasn't even going to win the majority of battles, but he just kept going because he knew at some point he was going to get through, and when he did, he could get a goal-scoring chance to his name, and that's what he did today. I thought it was fantastic the way he was standing up Wolves defenders as well. He was confident in terms of taking them on in a way that Mo Salah, I don't think, was earlier on in the season. When his form was at his lowest a couple months ago, he wasn't taking players on like that. He was indecisive. He was trying to sort of lay it off to someone, normally a player who wasn't in the best position. But today, he always made the right decisions. He was confident. He was arrogant as well. And like I said, he was just an absolute menace. He was a proper centre forward. That was the kind of centre forward's performance you see from players like Diego Costa, and that sounds like a strange comparison because obviously Salah is not the sort of big, burly, hulking, muscly lump that Diego Costa is, but he is a strong footballer. He's capable of holding his own against big, burly centre-backs, and he showed that today. He used his physical prowess, as much as it doesn't look like he should have much, to his advantage, and his dribbling ability as well, and his speed, and his ability to pick the right pass, take the right shot in any given situation. I thought it was yet another complete centre-forwards performance from Mohamed Salah, just like the one he put in at Bournemouth away a couple of weekends ago. So that was absolutely fantastic. And of course, the goal is absolutely brilliantly taken. It's the kind of finish that most players wouldn't even bother with. Most players would just try it with their weak foot, or they'd maybe even take a touch. He just relies on the fact that that pace from the ball from Fabinho is going to give the ball enough power to get in. All he has to do is guide it, and he does so well with that left foot of his. He really is, like I said, the complete centre forward. He gets into those positions, he finishes off the chances. He is a total pain in the backside for defenders, and he assists goals as well. That cross for Virgil van Dijk is absolutely fantastic. It's so well measured. It's the kind of thing we've seen to Van Dijk in the past as well. You know, that chance he has against Arsenal is a very similar kind of situation where it's a ball over the top and he makes that run in behind. It's a fab run from Virgil van Dijk as well. When I saw the goal, like the first thing I did was I looked at the flags. I thought it must be offside, or at least he was level with the defenders, but he's actually sort of a whole line back. He just judges his run so perfectly to be in the right place at the right time, and then for a centre-back to pull off that kind of finish with their weaker foot is absolutely bananas. But it is, of course, a great goal from Van Dijk, a great assist from my man of the match, Mohamed Salah, as well, and that essentially kills the game off from there on in and allows Liverpool to just see it out for a solid 3 points. So yeah, a great performance from Mohamed Salah. I thought Virgil van Dijk was solid all the way through the game as well. You know, he gets that goal, which was absolutely fantastic, but I thought he certainly, out of all the players, dealt with the conditions probably the best. There were countless times where he thought maybe he should go to ground to kind of deal with a player like Adama Traore, maybe beating him for pace or something like that, but he always stayed on his feet. He always used his positioning to kind of force players out into areas that they didn't want to go into. And like I said, just never went to ground, never committed, never gave them the opportunity to make a fool out of him, and essentially just screened a lot of the Wolves attackers out of the game at times. So I thought Virgil van Dijk was absolutely fantastic. A few other players, I thought Fabinho was very solid, maybe drifted in and out of the game at times, but it is of course a fantastic assist, the kind of assist you don't expect a defensive midfielder to make for Mohamed Salah's goal. And I think he's gradually growing into that more defensive role. I think today was the kind of game where you maybe got a measure of whether he can play defensive mid on his own, because while he was still alongside Jordan Henderson, there were times when he dropped that back to be the deeper of all the midfielders. Sometimes it didn't work, so he was giving the ball away, but as the game went on, he sort of looked a little bit more comfortable as he went on. So a solid performance from Fabinho. Apart from that, another couple of players that I want to talk about. Naby Keita, again, interesting, playing in that left mid position. I want you guys to actually let me know in the comments what you think of him playing there, because I'm still not entirely sure. Like, he's still a fantastic player and he's got skills to play there, but I do think he's underused playing there. I think he's still best a little bit deeper where he can drive forward, and more central where he can be more involved in the play. I think at left mid, as much as it is sort of horses for courses, it's just because we need a player to play that position, and he's still pretty solid. I don't think it's the best way to use Naby Keita. However, with us still playing this 4-2-3-1, it's the only place we can really fit him in. So let me know your thoughts on Naby Keita, whether you think we should change back to a 4-3-3 to accommodate him, whether we should try him in that midfield too as well in a slightly more defensive role, because as I said, he's a great footballer and he will of course be incredibly useful over this congested fixture period that we've got coming up with, of course, those mammoth games against Arsenal at home and Manchester City away as well. But I just think Jurgen Klopp and his team still haven't quite worked out where Naby Keita fits into the system, but of course still a fantastic player, and it's testament to how good these players are that they can play multiple positions. You know, I think Mane played about 3 different positions at different times today as the substitutions were made. Apart from that, I think that's all to say really. Again, Dejan Lovren, another player who didn't necessarily have a great game, but I thought certainly managed to gradually establish a foothold in it, a little bit like Fabinho, where there were a couple of early errors, moments where he looked a bit shaky, but I know I said he never really settled, but he did gradually become a little more stable as the game went on. Apart from that, no real other business. I thought Alisson Becker was great in goal, considering he faced probably more shots than he has in most games so far this season. And yeah, none of them were amazing, but he still had to keep them out. And Liverpool have had plenty of goalkeepers in the past who wouldn't have kept all of those shots out. So all in all, 3 points, a potential banana skin negotiated absolutely fantastically by Liverpool. And we are, of course, top of the league on Christmas Day. Let's see if we can carry on staying there all the way through until May. Fingers crossed that Liverpool will finally get that Premier League title we all crave. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Thank you guys very, very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that like button down there. Hit that subscribe button there if you're new around here. Check out some of the other videos that have been out on the channel over the past few days as well. Don't forget to follow at LFC Focus TV on Twitter. And I'll be back soon with the pre-match content for the Boxing Day tie against Newcastle. Until then, bye for now.